Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Jester's Court with me, 𝐤𝐸𝐤𝐿, and our co-host, the fabulous Jen, also known as Momthulu.
How's it going, bitches?
I am not ashamed to say I am tired this week. I um
Yeah.
I started my new job with the United Way. Right now it's part time, but hopefully it leads to a full time gig. I'm really enjoying it. And on top of that, I did my first Extra Life marathon of the year yesterday. 12 hours in the chair. Um, Had a great time, and so far we've raised a little over $400 for Suitors Children's Hospital here in Pensacola. So not bad.
Yay! That was amazing.
But long week. How was your week, Momthulu? I know you were excited we got a new bed.
Yeah, we did get a new bed. So my week was pretty stressful because I had some work projects that I was really putting my all into. And listen, when I tell you that I work for a call center and a management now, and that particular call center, I love it. It's so laid back. But the training structure in the call center was very lacking. And I have been asking for years if I could fix it. Let me fix it. And they were like, no, it's fine. And it's not fine. And so, finally I got promoted. We got a new boss, and I rewrote the whole thing for us and like structured it and gave it to him. And he was like, let's move on it right now. And I was like, score. But I was so nervous going up into that meeting. So it's been very stressful. And that led to a flare of my chronic illness. So, but we got a new bed, a very comfy bed for fat people.
Who's fat? We're not fat.
No, we're just big boned.
We are a representation of where humanity is heading. We're like
Sure.
we're like the X-Men. We're just early for our time.
The X-Men, right. The
Yeah.
X-Men. What's your superpower, Mike?
Have you not been paying attention? Eating.
I
There was a
do. Eating
there
and
was a,
talking.
a tweet I saw the other day that I shared. It was if you were an action figure, what two accessories would you come with? And I literally reposted it and said a bucket of something fried and a Monster Energy drink
Oh my
because
god.
I know who I am.
I swear to God, if we like bleed you, you're gonna either bleed coffee or coffee monster.
Caffeine. I am a caffeine addict. I am not picky as to the source.
I
If it's
can't
hot,
do caffeine
something
too
cold.
much, but
If it's cold, give me some coffee. But caffeine is the standard.
listen, everybody, this man will be like, oh my God, my head is killing me. And I'll be like, drink some water. He's like, what's that? Does that exist in this world?
I am 100% that meme that's like, you slept for 6 hours. Like, why do I feel like crap? And it's like your brain is like, you slept for 6 hours, you drink nothing but energy drinks, you eat like shit, you don't exercise. I
Right,
don't understand.
exactly. It's true.
I thought so.
I appreciate that.
So, before we get started tonight, I do want to take a moment to recognize some awesome people, our patrons. We have Kyle Kier, Fire Brandt, both of whom showed up for my stream yesterday. They're awesome. Mr. Derek Diamond, formerly of the Derek Diamond podcast, or Derek Diamond podcast, Future Presentation podcast, which is on hiatus right now, but hopefully will come back because it's awesome. And this one, I don't know, it sounds like a fake name, Jennifer Eveland.
I don't know, but you need to stop using that lady's government name.
Who? Well, I don't know who she is, but it sounds like a stalker. I don't know.
I mean, she might be in the tree outside right now.
It's a good thing that it doesn't show anything unless we're watching TV.
I just have the hunch that she might be too fat to climb. Oh, anyway.
You guys too can be a patron. Just head on over to patreon.com/the Jester's Court. Tiers start as low as $3 a month, and you get all kinds of cool stuff like early access to episodes, monthly commentary tracks. Um, this month we're going to be doing Ghostbuster 2016 in preparedness for next season when we do that episode. You get Saturday morning cartoons where we hang out on a Saturday morning and watch old cartoons from the 80s and 90s, complete with authentic commercials of that era, which is really fun. We've only done one so far, but the next one is this week.
You said error and not era.
Era. I've heard it both ways. I've heard it both ways.
Okay.
$10 if you can tell me what show that's from.
What?
I've heard it both ways.
That's from the IT crowd.
No. Psych.
Yes.
Psych.
Is it really?
Sean says that all the time. I've heard it both ways.
It's also from the IT crowd because Jen and Roy are always picking on each other.
Let's see. Let's take it to the judges. Judges, what do you say?
Womp womp.
You could not hear that, but it was womp womp. So sorry. If you want to support the show, but money's tight, that's okay. Just write a review. Or if you're on the YouTubes, like and subscribe to the show. That kind of stuff seems small, but trust me, it makes a huge difference.
YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hip.
Yeah.
I'm down with what the kids are laying down.
Okay.
So what are we talking about tonight? Tonight?
I was going to say it.
But go say it.
Go ahead. It's your show.
There's a script and everything, guys. Tonight we're talking House 2, the second story.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, I was going to say, get it? Second story. So this is a last minute change to the schedule, as we've kind of touched on a little bit. We were originally supposed to be talking about Urban Legend, but I decided to change it up for many reasons, time being the biggest one. As I mentioned, I spent most of yesterday with the charity stream, so time was a little short. End of the day, I did not want to stay up super late to do rewatch for the show. To rewatch the movie for the show after having been streaming all day. And as it happens, me and Momthulu watched this movie for her podcast, 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐬, earlier this week. So I figured, why not a crossover episode?
Yeah, so go and check out my podcast on wherever you get your podcast. It's called The 𝐸𝐴𝐴. There you go.
Like we weren't going to give you an opportunity to say that.
I'll plug it everywhere if I can, okay?
So House 2, a
House
sequel
2.
A sequel quite literally in name only.
Right.
His name does not share a cast, a theme, or a story with the first movie. Critically and financially, this movie was a definite flop.
It was a huge flop.
Sitting at a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes and bringing in only about $7 million in the box office.
It's $10 million in the box office is what it earned. But if you take away from what it cost to make it, that would be a $7 million profit.
Is that where because what I saw was 6.8 million box
right.
office.
So it grossed 10 million, and then it's 6.8 million is what it costs to. You get what I'm saying? But anyway.
Yeah, but I get it. Studios are looking for a bigger return.
Exactly. And this is different from House 1, which did like 23 million in the box office. So which was smash, and it was a crappy movie. But anyway.
Thankfully, we here at the Jesters Court don't limit ourselves to such tangible standards like money, and we just want to know one question: did you enjoy it?
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, what's your question?
My question is Jesse his own grandpa? I want to know.
We may never know.
Yeah, we may never know.
I doubt there's notes from the script or much of a script.
Thanks to Tom Arnold, every time I see it now, I will go, I'm my own grandpa. So, oops, you might need to edit me out.
No, that's the fun of the show. So, Momthulu, where do you know this film from, and do you remember when you first saw it?
I first saw it when my family got a cable package for the first time because we were, oh God, I was associated with his family where we were stealing cable for a long time. But when we finally went legit, when my mom got a better job and we got actual cable installed into our house instead of stealing it from the neighbor, we got the premium channels. We had Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, and this movie was all over those channels. It was this movie. It was House 1, Beastmaster, Lambada, and Rockula. And I probably mentioned Rockula like 6 times in the last month, just because we were talking about the nostalgia, and these were the movies that were playing at the time. But,
incidentally, more than anyone's ever mentioned that movie.
Rockula ever.
We must have seen it the same year, because for me, it was one of the summers I was at my dad's house. And I remember he had HBO, and this was one of the movies that they had for the summer. You got to remember, too, this was before streaming was a thing.
Right, and you had to watch that weird little channel that had all of the movie programs on there.
This is earlier than that. You're talking about no, this is pre that.
No, we had that at I don't know where your dad
our
was.
cable company did not.
Yeah, because we had it. We used to sit there and watch that channel for freaking ever.
The,
Be like, oh my God, what time does that come on? Damn it, I missed it. And then you have to watch it to roll through the whole fucking thing again to find out when that came on.
the point is, though, you watched what was on broadcast, or you didn't watch anything at all.
Right.
It didn't matter that you'd seen the movie already. You had to decide which movie you wanted to rewatch.
Exactly.
So I must have seen this movie 50 times that summer, is the short version there. And even then, I just remember really enjoying it. Something that I found that did not change when we watched it again last week for this episode. I will say, though, horror, not so much.
Yeah, probably about as horror as an old shoe.
Yeah, I would characterize this as a comedy fantasy. Nothing really horror about it at all.
Yeah.
But it's such a fun movie. The protagonist, Slim, he's creepy as hell.
Right.
The humor, I think, hits. Which we're going to talk about a little later. People don't agree with us.
Really?
I know everything is subjective, but reading reviews... we're going to talk about it right now. Reading reviews that jokes fall flat, I don't get that. To me, the jokes were great. And as we mentioned on Innsmouth Rap, the nuts and bolts of this film, like the videography, the effects, the lights, etc., are much better than House 1, which did some better in the box office.
Right.
And before I hand it over to Momthulu for her breakdown, let me just say this. The highlight of this film, do you know what the highlight is? John Ratzenberg playing the electrician adventurer. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss
Perfection.
to Bill. Bill
He is
great.
amazing.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts, Momthulu?
I love this movie. I'm sorry. It only got a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm sad about that. Because like we did Vegas Vacation last week, and it got 13%. I was so sad about that. But this one is like, this movie is so good.
Yeah,
it's
see,
so good.
It's better to me than Vegas Vacation, but continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. It is. It's so good. I mean, it's got action. It's got virgin sacrifice. It's got Bippy the Dog-a-Pillar. I mean, it's a great movie. The humor is there. Gramps just makes the freaking movie. Okay. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's part of that, but it's good. Why? I'm sad that people don't like this. And I will die on this hill defending this movie. It's so good. That's all I gotta say.
No, you're right. Bippy the Caterpillar is another
the
highlight.
Dog-a-pillar.
The Dog-a-Pillar. He's another
Yeah.
highlight. And yeah, you're right. Gramps, he's such a perfect old codger. And I don't even know the actor who played him. It's obviously a lot of makeup effects because, he's basically mummified.
Right.
Much to his surprise, because he did not read the fine print, and the crystal skull that keeps him alive forever as long as he's around the skull did not keep him the same age.
No, it did not keep him the same age. It just stopped it didn't even stop the rotting process.
It just prevented him from dying.
Right. And let's see, I think the name of Royal Dano is the name of Gramps. He is the actor that
I have no idea who that is.
He's old as fuck. So
well, now
he was old. No, he's dead now. He's old as fuck back then.
He's dead now. Well, I mean, this was 1987. I think a lot of basically anyone who wasn't in their 20s when that movie was filmed is probably dead.
Right.
I doubt the Cheers guy, John Ratzenberg, is around.
I don't think John Ratzenberger's dead.
You don't think so?
No.
You got the Google.
He was only born in 1947.
That makes him 80 years old.
That doesn't mean he's dead. Hold on, let's use the Google. Oh, Google, show us your powers. He is still alive. John Ratzenberger lives.
Surprises never cease.
His middle name is Dezo.
John Dezo Ratzenberger.
Yeah.
I wonder what his real name is, though, because that's just his SAG name.
It says his name is John Dezo Ratzenberger.
Yeah, but that's just the name he gave for movies and stuff.
No, that's his name. That's his name for real. His dad's name was Dezo Alexander Ratzenberger. So he's just named after his dad.
I don't know about that.
He's,
we have a question for the audience.
Oh, we do?
Because I was unable to find out. Any of you guys who have seen this movie, tell me what kind of car that is they're driving. Because Momthulu thought it was a Miata, and I thought it was some kind of Ferrari.
Oh, I thought you said you had a question from the audience,
No,
not
no,
for the
for
audience.
for our audience, and hit us up on Twitter with that when you get it, or if you're on our Discord, give me the Discord because I really want to know.
We would like to know what the car is. It was red.
It
That's
was red.
all I.
Yes, it was definitely red. It was also definitely one of those small sports cars, like because the actor who played Charlie is a
Right.
good foot over the top of the damn thing.
That's Jonathan Stark, isn't it?
It's a
that played-
convertible, and there's no way that he could drive that, like put that top up ever.
Jonathan Stark is the guy who played it, and I remember him most from Fright Night, which was another movie that was big on those premium channels. Fright Night was an amazing movie, by the way. So anyway,
Fright Night was good.
Love that movie. Moving on.
Why would you want to move on?
Because we have to talk about the movie. That's what we do.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
All right, so bring it all home, guys. Like so many of the properties we talk about in the show, the movie is flawed. And yes, it was a flop in theaters. But our motto is flaws do not necessarily ruin the thing.
Everything's flawed.
Everything is flawed. That's basically the motto of the show. Everything's flawed. To me, this movie is fun. I would definitely say worth the watch for any of you looking for a good old popcorn movie, as the kids used to say.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's got lots of great humor and slappy jokes. There's not a lot of gore in it. I would say, as a horror podcaster, it has zero gore. So I mean, there's gunshots, pew pew, but no gore, none of that. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah, like we said, no gore. It's not a horror movie. The closest aspect to horror it comes to is
fantasy,
Slim.
Right? It's got to be a fantasy movie. It can't be horror.
The beginning, was Slim, and the end was Slim. Sort of border on horror, but really fantasy.
Right.
I think they just called it a horror movie because it was supposed to be a sequel to a horror movie, which, as we discussed on 𝐸𝐚𝐽, the first one barely qualifies as a horror movie.
Oh my god, the first one wasn't even funny. At least this one was funny. At least this one's funny.
So what do you think, Mom? Final verdict.
Watch the goddamn movie. It's hilarious. Just
watch the goddamn movie. That's the clip right there.
Watch the goddamn movie and then go onto Rotten Tomatoes and rate it better.
Right?
Right now it's got a 7% and it deserves more.
And while you're throwing ratings around, feel free to give us a rating as well.
Yeah. Do it.
All right, I believe we keep having these short episodes because we're building to the season finale.
Right. Is that coming up already?
Yes. We can go ahead and announce it now because I don't think we've announced it on air. The end of March, after March, we're going to take a month off.
Oh.
So I can kind of work on some other projects and take a break.
Right.
So the last episode of March, we'll be talking about Star Trek Discovery, and I got some guest hosts coming on.
Oh, good, because I don't want to be there for that. I'm not a Trekker.
I'm aware. So we've got Hand from Above coming on, and we got Rob Man coming on.
Oh man, I might show up for the Hand from Above one. I like him. I might actually watch.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'll actually watch the damn movie. Oh wait, it's a show.
It's a show, and it's 4 seasons long. You have a month, but you'd have to watch all 4 seasons.
I would have to watch something other than crime shows, wouldn't I?
Yes.
Well, I'll be a happy listener then in the audience because Hand from Above's my guy.
These are 2 guys that we know from our Good From Gaming charity group, and they're pretty cool people. And I think ending the season on Star Trek, because that's one of the reasons I started the show, was the new Star Trek and the crap it gets. So it's a perfect little...
I think I've actually even made fun of you watching Star Trek.
Well, it's one of those shows that whenever a new season starts, I have to go back and watch it again from the beginning.
You have to watch it from the beginning, and then I come in and rip on you for rewatching it again, and then I ask all these questions about, like, why does the alien have a butt on his face? I do. Tell me that I don't. I will literally sit there and interrupt your episode and ask you all sorts of questions, but refuse to watch the goddamn show on my own.
She's not lying. But don't worry if you are a patron of the show. We are still going to do our patron side work in April, even though the show will be on hiatus. You will still get your commentary tracks. We're still going to do Saturday morning cartoons. And I have something special coming up for the month of April. Do you know what it is?
No.
We're going to interview Jason Robbins, friend of the show.
Oh, for real? That's cool.
Yep. Got an interview with Jason Robbins, who's lived a fascinating life. I don't know if you know. I don't want to give too many spoilers away. but he has been on a national touring band.
Yeah.
Like, it was on the charts. Stand-up comedian. He's written and produced his own movie. It's a short
movie.
film. We've watched it. It's great.
Yeah.
And he's a friend of the show. And I'm ready to say it right now. He is our official John Carpenter expert.
I can't lie. You can't. You're absolutely fucking right. He is.
We will not discuss the John Carpenter property without Jason
Nope.
Robbins on the show.
No, it won't happen. For sure.
So we'll loop back now, and that is our show for the night. For those of you who are patrons, keep in mind, as I said before, Saturday is the first Saturday morning cartoons for the month. And those of you who are not a patron yet, it's not too late to catch the tunes. You got all the way. Well, this episode will air on Friday, so you'll have all day Friday up until the nighttime. So maybe I'll release this on Thursday so people get an extra head start.
When you play the Saturday morning cartoons, do you play Tom and Jerry?
We haven't yet. Last ones we did an episode of Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah,
we did an episode of X-Men the animated series, and at our patron 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿's request, we did what is that? It's a Japanese deal. Ronin Warriors. We did an episode. The first 3 episodes are a movie, so we watched the first part of the movie.
When you do get ready to do Scooby-Doo, let me know. Because I love me some Scooby-Doo.
Where are you?
And Tom and Jerry. Man, I'd be up at like 6 a.m. just to watch Tom and Jerry. And I only wanted to watch Tom and Jerry if it was the old Tom and Jerry and not the new ones.
The 90s one that they did?
Yeah, you're like, turn this off.
You cannot redo those cartoons from like the 50s and stuff because they did not care.
I know,
they did not care back then.
Tom and Jerry is the best. It really is.
So we'll be back next week though with Urban Legends with me and Momthulu. I love what's his name, Michael Rosenbaum. Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Love him. And he's been in other cool stuff too. He was in that the Sorority Boys movie. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Nope.
I know you don't know Smallville.
No. Well, I mean, I know a little bit of it because I'm forced to sit through some when I'm like, hey, do you want to watch a movie? Yeah, as soon as this episode's over. And then you forget and I have to sit through a whole episode and I'm like, screw you, Allison Mack. I get real political about it. Anyway.
Before we go down that rabbit hole, Momthulu, where can the fine folks find you here next week?
Hey, next week you can check me out actually tomorrow on my own podcast, The Ends with Rag, where we'll be talking about the very same house too. So if you want a synopsis of it and, just to hear us gab about this shitty movie, which is not that shitty.
I should point out, because Momthulu continually forgets about the scheduling of our shows, and you will see Ends with Rag before you see this episode.
This is live right now on Twitch, bitch.
It is live right now on Twitch, but for the other people listening.
Oh, that's true. But anyway, catch me out on the Innsmouth Rag. That is Innsmouth with an I, like you couldn't tell. But anyhow,
you never know.
And I'm also here. And sometimes on Laundry Day, I did laundry today without streaming, but usually on Laundry Day, I like to stream while I'm in between modes. So you can find me at twitch.tv/Momthulu. That's all I'm gonna say. That's where I'll be, and I'll also be at work. So there.
With that, guys, I will say good night.
Peace out.
Peace out. Yes.
As Bulldozer was like, meow. Did you hear?
Good night, folks.
Peace out, bitches.